This is KGW News at noon.
New this afternoon, you can now order free at-home COVID tests from the federal government. Welcome to the News at Noon. I'm Drew Carney. The website set up to place those COVID test kit orders was supposed to be available tomorrow, but it wound up going live this morning. So again, people can start ordering those tests. The government is providing 500 million of these free rapid at-home tests as a way to get more Americans tested. You're allowed to have up to 4 tests delivered to a single address. The federal government is also implementing another new rule that requires insurance companies to pay subscribers back if they buy a COVID test out of pocket. That rule went into effect this past Saturday, January 15th, and it states that insurance has to pay for up to 8 at-home tests per person per month. So if your family has 4 members covered through your insurance, you can actually be reimbursed for up to 32 tests a month. This rule does not apply, though, for people on Medicare. And as these free at-home test kits from the government become available, Oregon Health Authority Director Patrick Allen says there really isn't a more convenient option available for testing right now.
Today, a COVID-19 test remains a scarce commodity across the United States, and it's no different in Oregon. I know many people are worried and frustrated because timely tests are hard to come by unless you have the flexibility and patience to wait your turn in line at a testing site.
So the way to order a free at-home COVID test is to go to that website right there. It's COVID Tests with an S, covidtests.gov, covidtests.gov. The tests will be mailed to you within 1 to 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Portland Public School nurses have come together to defend teachers in the school district after the district made accusations that some teachers are misusing sick leave during this latest surge in COVID cases. KGW's Catherine Cook has more on the open letter that was written by the nurses.
We're seeing case numbers that we did not see at all in the fall.
Jennifer McKinster is a school nurse at Grant High School. The COVID case numbers she's talking about are district-wide and involve students, parents, and teachers. For that reason, she and other nurses are criticizing this letter. PPS Human Resources sent it to all teachers last week, accusing some of them of misusing sick time. The district said, quote, "We are getting regular reports of educators being asked by colleagues to call in sick with the intention of causing the district to close schools." The teachers union condemned the email, saying, "This message from PPS is off base, demoralizing to all educators, and an insult to our profession."
And we wanted to support them because nurses see the reality of what's happening in the schools.
McKinster helped write this open letter signed by 36 nurses serving PPS students. It criticizes the district for saying school closures are happening because of staff shortages rather than citing the spread of COVID-19 as the reason. It says, quote, "Schools are short-staffed because so many educators are sick or quarantined or have families of their own to care for who are sick. Teachers should be supported rather than blamed." The letter also notes the district's shortage of school nurses. State law recommends 1 nurse per 750 students. Right now, there is 1 nurse per 1,253 students in Portland Public Schools.
They're having a hard time feeling like they can adequately do the job that they're being asked to do. And nurses are in the school because they love kids, and it's hard.
McKinster says conducting COVID testing is also an issue.
It's being promised, but we don't have staff to do testing or tracking of the tests. And we're also being asked to use tests that have been expired.
McKinster and the others who signed this letter hope things will improve and that people who are sick will heal. In the meantime, they're asking the district to stop assigning blame on anything but the virus itself. In an email to KGW, Portland Public Schools Chief of Staff Jonathan Garcia tells us the district is actively looking into incidents referenced in the email to teachers and can't share more detailed information at this time. He says their top priority now is working with staff and labor partners to ensure schools remain open. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
All right, let's talk about schools some more right here because several local schools are back to distance learning mode today. We have a list of school closures and other COVID-related schedule changes for local schools in an article posted at KGW.com. If you simply text the word school to that number on the screen, 503-226-5088, we'll text you back with a link to that article. Well, today is also Election Day in Newburgh. Two members of the school board there are facing recall, Chair Dave Brown and Vice Chair Brian Shannon. Right around the start of the school year, the Newburgh School District banned what it described as political symbols on school campuses, specifically singling out pride flags and Black Lives Matter signs. Then, board members fired Superintendent Joe Morlock. It's important to note, ballots must be postmarked by 8 p.m. tonight in order to count. All right, now we're going to talk about tax season for a moment, because whether you prepare taxes yourself or have them done professionally, there are a few things you need to know this year, and we're going to start with the child tax credit that parents received throughout the past year. This month was the first month in the last 6 that parents did not receive the child tax credit in their bank accounts. The rest of the credit is still coming, but not until after you file. Congress approved the earlier payments to help families financially last year. Again, it's important to note, only half of that credit was paid out. You'll get the other half when you file. If you did receive those credit payments over the last 6 months, the IRS will be sending you a letter. It's letter 6419, and in it, it will show you exactly how much you've been paid so far. Also, if you received a third stimulus check in the last year, you'll get a letter from the IRS for that too, again, showing how much that stimulus payment was for. If you get either letter, this is the big thing, right? Do not throw them away. You absolutely need both of them to file this year. And here's another pro tip for you. You can also go to the IRS's website, irs.gov, to see what payments were made to you and cross-reference that with your bank account. All right, moving away from taxes, talking about something perhaps a little more interesting. We're actually before we get to that story, I was thinking of this local sea story, but we are going to update you on Tonga here for a moment. After a volcano erupted on the South Pacific island over the weekend, we have this update from the government there that says some of the smaller outlying islands, like this one we're showing you, these were hit the hardest, and all the houses, sadly, were destroyed. Only a couple were left behind. Efforts have been made still to help the people there because of all the falling ash that is still hitting that area. Communication to the island is also completely cut off still because of the damage. The government is now working to evacuate the worst hit islands there. Now we're getting to the story that I thought we were about to tell you about. This is happening along the Oregon coast. We're talking about pyrosomes. Some people call these sea pickles. Some people call them sea squirts. Regardless of what you call them, they are apparently back because the Seaside Aquarium says they've received reports of hundreds of these creatures on the beach in Florence. The video we're showing you here is from 5 years ago, back in 2017. That's when sea pickles also covered local beaches. So the description, we showed you them a minute ago, but the description is rigid, bumpy, translucent tubed creatures. They're usually about the size of a finger, but they can sometimes grow to as much as 2 feet long. Rod Hill, I thought that you cleverly pointed out earlier when asked on the spot, what would you do if you ran into a 2 foot long sea pickle? You said I'd grab some ketchup.
Yes, I like the name, and they look like pickles, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yes.
That's why they named them the pickles, Rod.
All right.
The sea pickle.
First I've heard of these critters. Here's a look at the radar. It basically doesn't show anything. The radar is not going to pick up all of the mist that's out there falling from a low cloud deck because quite simply the radar beam, if the clouds are low, can shoot over the top of it. But we have some misty spots primarily around. The only cloud deck we have is the low level clouds, and you're starting to see some thin spots out at the coast. There's one down low. That's Cannon Beach. Temperature 48 degrees. So the beach is running warmer than we are here in the valley, and this will be at the coast the best chance to see some breaks in the cloud cover this afternoon. Up north in southwest Washington, that's Lewis River Golf Course up along the Lewis River outside of Woodland. Cloudy skies. They've had a little bit of light precipitation out there. You can still see the clouds over downtown Portland kissing the West Hills. We're at 45, so we are on target to get up to a forecast high of 48. We'll say 47 at 4 p.m. and 44 at 8 p.m. Mainly it continues to be traces of moisture, but the rain picks up tomorrow. And the rain picks up again Thursday, and we'll get into all of that coming up.